4:32, we're calling the Finance Committee for the Village of Weston to order. Someone, can you do a roll call, please?
Deason? Deason?
Here.
Present.
Gao? He's absent. Hardinger?
Here.
Demelin?
Here.
Wyland?
Here.
All right. Okay, first or next agenda item is the approval of minutes from the previous meeting, November 21st.
I'll make a motion. Second.
We have a motion, a second. Anything in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is do we have any public comments? We don't have anybody in the crowd. No. Have a ghost town here. Who's doing online? Michael, is that you?
I am.
Jessica's got
Or
it.
Jessica?
Nobody.
Nobody online? Going once, going twice, and we're gone. Acknowledgement of work, product transmittals, apologies. Number 5, the November budget status report.
So far, we have compiled the narrative of the budget status for November. General fund revenues are looking pretty good. So are the expenditures. We're gonna have a surplus in both unless we get a really bad snowstorm, but the salt's not ordered till January delivery, so we'll be good there. Let's see, in particular, we have 10.3% left of budget to collect.
Jessica, excuse me, could you please speak up more?
Sure,
Thank you.
you guys just chose to sit the furthest away from me.
Apologize.
We gotta mic you.
Yeah, we gotta get a mic.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the final sound system yet. That's a few months away.
So if you look up on the screen, the big ones that we have left to do yet for the revenues are other taxes. So the Village of Rothschild receives a shared revenue payment and they have to share some of it with us. That's the big amount that we're due yet. That's part of the 104. Besides that, everything on the revenues is over budget, which is a good thing. And then on the expenditures, we have $844,000 left of our budget. I know we got a whole month's worth of payroll, so that will be coming out. But besides that, we're still looking at a pretty good surplus for the general fund for expenditures.
What is a month's worth of average payroll run about, Jessica?
I think it was around $65,000,
Okay, thank you.
$570.
Yep, thank you.
The utilities, most of them are running short on the revenues, specifically the water utility, 94% of budget versus 96 last year. The sewer utility revenues are slightly higher than 21. I think it's mostly because of the hookup fees, as noted there, because of the large number of new homes being built. And then the stormwater utility is very similar. That will go up, that number will go up with the new homes also, but just a little bit less significant. Is there questions on any other funds?
I don't have any. Do we need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the budget status report?
Yes, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion, second. Does that need to be voted on or just
No, you vote on the acknowledgement.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so anything in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Jamie still on the line?
Yeah, it's probably a delay.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Jessica, the TIF 1, TIF 2 detail reports for November?
The detailed reports are in the packet. Is there any questions on them?
All right, we don't need okay, we need to move to acknowledge those. Is there
Can you
any-
hear, can you hear me now?
Yep, I got you now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything you wanted to point out from the TIF 1 or TIF 2 reports, Jessica?
No.
All right, we can move to acknowledge those then.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Anything in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda. We have nothing for educational presentation or reports. Policy issues, 2022 budget amendments.
So the budget amendments I'm proposing are affecting the general operations and CIP. For the operations, the board did approve some wages above what was budgeted in 2022. So some of the departments are feeling a little crunch, especially in the wage area. A lot of the departments have enough budget within the department to kind of cover that over budget or cover the actual amount of wages that are above the budget. But there's some departments that just don't have a lot of budget, so we need to amend their budget to cover the wages that were approved. Specifically, we're looking at the village administrator, the finance director. Finance usually has enough budget, but what happened with the transition with the deputy leaving and a new one coming in, there was a large payout for vacation. We also had a change in health insurance in the finance department from spouse and employee to a family. So there were quite a bit of significant changes, and I was not able to cover all that. So it's recommended that we have an $8,000 adjustment there. The police department, we have been doing more maintenance at the public safety building than what was budgeted. So I'm recommending a $3,000 adjustment there. Building,
what was that again? So they went over by $3,000?
we did not budget enough in the public safety building maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yes, so maintenance of the building.
So
Yeah.
it's an estimated amount of time and money that's required over there, and it just doesn't match, so the budget was.
Skewed by $3,000?
Approximately.
According to, yeah.
All right.
And then building inspector salaries, so that's one where specifically they don't really have a lot of budget. It's mostly salaries. And when higher salaries were approved and budgeted, we're running short there. So I'm recommending an additional $5,000 budget adjustment on that line. Parks administration hourly wages. We usually budget the parks guys to do a lot of snow plowing, helping out with streets, especially in the winter. They didn't have that need last year, so they spent more time in the parks department. So I'm recommending a $20,000 adjustment there, just to reflect the wages that were spent there. There's no more employees. It's just where did the guys spend their time? And we
Right.
Yeah.
guessed wrong last year.
So either, you pay Peter or you pay Paul, one or the other.
Could some of that have been with the additional time on the aquatic center? They were over there doing things?
No, well, I suppose it could be, but
Well, we got
normally in this,
the park guy right here.
normally in the summer, they're working on park stuff. Anyway, do you have any comment?
Well, like Jessica stated, sometimes we help out with shouldering or hauling snow or snow plowing and just, like you said, moving.
Bodies.
Yeah, so if they're not working in DPW, then they're working in parks, and then
Well,
it reflects on the parks budget versus DPW, if their time's not spent there. It could be multiple things, but.
and it could swing the other way.
Right.
Certain times of the year, they could be helping you out.
Yeah, because we actually budget DPW wages in the parks budget also, because there's times that they spend a ton of time with us, you know?
Right.
So it's really just moving it from one account to the
One hand
other.
washes the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So we talk often about, or occasionally about combining the two, but I guess there's reasons to keep the park costs separated based on government finance
Yeah,
requirements or whatever.
money.
Reporting, financial reporting to the state, so.
Yep.
Well, I don't think the state would like if we put all our park stuff in their public works because we get transportation aid on that, so
There
it's
you go,
not quite appropriate to do that.
That's what I'm saying, sometimes.
in a nutshell.
So the
Right along.
The accounts that I plan on moving the budget from is, we budget $10,000 in contingency for hourly wages. That's usually merit increases and stuff, so we specifically tied that there. So that is actually a really appropriate use of the funds from that account. The other one is contingency reserve for miscellaneous expense. Like if we had a really bad winter, that would be a really good account that we would use. We didn't have a specific need for that, so I thought it was appropriate to put it towards those wages where we needed it.
Almost done.
And the last one is winter maintenance hourly wages for the town. That's the other government's winter maintenance. We kind of put too much money in that budget line, and so it was appropriate to take some out of there and move it to where we need it. These are all Fund 10 accounts. It's not changing the overall budget for Fund 10. It's just moving the money where it belongs.
Good job, Jessica. Thank you.
Do you want to vote on them separately or together?
Say again?
Do you want to vote on the budget amendments separately or together? Because that was our village general operating general fund proposed amendments. And now I'm gonna go to seat capital fund.
Okay,
Proposed.
so this, I'm following you. Hold on.
Where are you going again?
8 to 7 and 8 together,
They're
Bob?
both part of 7. It's just the operating fund versus the capital fund.
So we have to, you prefer we vote on transferring the money from the operating fund separately from,
I don't think they're separate agenda items.
yeah, they're separate items on here, so we can,
I think we should. I think we should.
They're not separate items, they're both under the 2022 amendment.
I think we should vote on them separately,
okay.
personally, but
What's the first one then?
Well, I'll move to recommend the village board approve the proposed 2022 budget amendments.
Then I would say for general fund. Because I'll have that, I would need that same motion when we're approving the 2022 amended capital improvements fund budget.
can I ask a question at this time? So where is that ladder truck in this whole, I mean, you're using different terminology to describe the same frame of time, 2022.
So the ladder truck is going to be in our capital equipment budget. And that one, you're not gonna see it all at once because what we did was we budgeted it 3 separate years. So we split the ladder truck into 3 years.
Okay,
You're not gonna see a lump sum.
I know that, but I'm sorry, what? Okay, I'm listening.
The ladder truck was split between 3 budget years.
Yep,
So you're not gonna see that one lump sum for the ladder truck and it's under safer equipment.
correct. But that's all part of what we're voting on.
No, that was approved each budget year. So each time when I brought the budget in 2021, 2022, and 22 and 23, through the safe with the original budget that was adopted each
So
fall.
the safer budget and what we're doing here is totally separate.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Two separate entities.
So Jessica, could you walk me through again what the what the motion is that you need.
If you want to approve Fund 10 and the capital improvement funds budget amendment separately, I need you to specify that this one's for the general fund and that the other one is for capital improvements.
So right now,
It's your
we're,
choice.
right now we have the capital improvement
Fund.
on the table,
General fund.
General. fund.
general
General
fund.
Talked about this is the general fund operating budget, correct?
Yes.
So I'll make a motion, we approve that as presented and amended.
I'll second.
Do we have any in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we need a second one for the general operating fund. Is that correct?
That's the one you just did.
No, I'm sorry.
Capital-
The capital improvement fund.
Now, can I present the capital improvements?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
please, loudly.
Okay, so the capital improvement facilities fund, you can see the yellow highlighted. That is the proposed amended budget. Right next to the left of it, that is the formally adopted budget. So the first one we're looking at is the facilities fund. The village received approximately $30,000 from WPS for, what is it, the Energy Star?
Focus on energy.
Focus on energy.
Credit.
So we didn't originally have that budgeted. We didn't know how much it was, so I threw it in there as part of the amended budget. We have a closer guesstimate on what our final building costs are gonna be in there, so that's in the amended budget line. And if you scroll down to the village hall outlay, you can see we bumped up the building by $1 million to $8.1 million. Everything else stays the same on that. And the village hall planning was bumped up
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jessica, why did you bump up the building by $1 million?
because it's getting closer to actual. So when we budgeted it a year ago, we thought we were gonna be further along on the building with more expenditures in 2021. But the expenditures didn't come till 2022, so we're just kind of adjusting it closer to actual.
So in 21, we would have estimated or bumped it down $1 million. And then that million then came into 22.
It's not a,
It didn't increase by $1 million.
Correct.
It just,
it's a
from
matter of when the money was borrowed.
21 to 22.
Okay.
It was already accounted for, it's not like it added.
Okay.
Got it, okay. I think that was my question, yeah.
Yeah, that was mine as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now if we go to streets. The surface maintenance, we kept at 191,000, so no change. Apache, we didn't have that budgeted.
Which one?
Apache,
What?
Where's that?
Apache Lane?
Apache Lane.
Patchy.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Thank you.
So let me step back. All the 2022 expenditures and budget amendments that I'm having you look through and approve have previously been approved.
Yeah.
The difference is we didn't get it approved on one sheet. So when the auditors say, where was it approved for your 2022 capital budget? I didn't have that sheet, so now
Right.
I'm just formally getting this approved.
It's a bookkeeping,
Yeah, no,
it's a bookkeeping issue.
you're just amending from what the budget or the estimate was to the actual, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
You're appeasing the
Yeah,
accountants.
so we can, this is the capital improvement fund?
Correct.
Okay, so we just need a motion to approve the,
So moved as presented.
I'll second it.
we got a motion and a second. Anything in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jessica. Next on the plan is the use of ARPA funds for leak
We
detection.
have the 2023 budget amendment.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I see it. 23 budget amendment.
We're gonna go through this again. So the column furthest to the right is the 2023 proposed amended budget. I
Mhm.
know we just adopted, but there was a couple of things that were approved and clarified after adoption. And I just want to make sure those get noted. The first one was the surface maintenance. As you remember, we're continuing to take the funds out of our general government street maintenance account and shift them over to our capital improvement. The reason we're doing that is so we can afford all the other services within our levy limits. So in essence, it's forcing us to borrow for our street maintenance. As you can see, it went up from 191,000 to 265,000 for 2023.
What's,
Another thing that we're looking at is Northwestern. So this was part of our grant that we received from the state, and we got a good guesstimate with the bids at $275,000 that we'll have to pay for that street. So we put that in there right.
What was the grant amount?
It's a 80-20 grant, so the state's paying, does that end up being 800,000 or plus, and we have the 275.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good grant.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing that's in here for the 2023 amended budget is some trucks that have already been approved at the board level. So I thought we'd make sure that they get approved on our capital improvement fund worksheet.
Are those ones you picked up, Michael?
Yep.
Okay. I just had one question about the street maintenance real quick.
Yep.
The jump from 191 to 265, are we doing repaving or something that,
We took more out of our general fund.
70 grand.
yeah.
Go back. Does that cover that?
I guess. I'm just wondering why it jumped from 190 to 265.
Because we reduced Fund 10 street maintenance and shoved it over to capital projects. So the village board wants to maintain their funding of street maintenance at the same level. But because we can't afford it in our levy limits,
Oh,
it's kicked out to capital improvement funds.
Yeah.
we can't maintain the streets at the 191.
No,
So the
the
level
total
that-
budget is actually 525. It's just split between, the 191 or the 265, and then the remainder is in the operating budget.
Okay.
So this past year, what was it, $70,000 was removed. If you looked at the public works budget, it is actually reduced this year from what it was in 21
Okay.
in the
Yeah,
operating
that's-
fund.
And that's kind of what I was looking for, is it? Okay. All
So
right.
back to these trucks.
Yep.
They were already approved, but pardon my ignorance, but what trucks are we talking about? Like
Oh.
dump trucks or,
They're 70
1 ton,
oh, the
dump
1
trucks.
ton?
Yep.
Like for parks?
Public works.
Public works?
Yeah, pull our patch trailer, plow cul-de-sacs.
Yeah.
Number 2 and 31, right?
Yeah,
Number 2 and number 31. Number 2, which is the.
That doesn't mean anything to
yeah,
me.
the general use everyday trucks that the staff.
Okay, the 1 ton do everything trucks?
Yeah,
Yeah, heavy duty pickup trucks.
correct, yeah, they're,
Dualies?
like an F, like a 450 and a 550.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. What do we get, like 1 or 2 of them a year? How often do we rotate them?
About 12 years, 12 to 15 years.
Oh, that long?
Yeah,
Wow. We're not using them hard enough.
we use them well. We just don't ask for replacement right away.
Okay, thank you. Okay, where are we at?
That was the rest of the capital improvement fund? Okay, so we need a motion to approve the,
So moved as presented.
I'll second it as presented.
a motion and a second. Anything in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, passes. Next, Finance Committee. Use of ARPA funds for fixing the leak or repairing the leak at Kennedy Park. Did you want to present anything?
Well, Jessica did put a RFC in the packet. We did discuss it at the Park and Rec Committee in November. Our original cost estimate, depending on, the leaks, was anywhere from basically 10 to 40,000.
Right.
The board previously had approved use of up to 40,000 in ARPA funding. We received the bill for the work that was done in 2022, and it was just over 39,000. They gave me an additional cost estimate to finish the repairs in spring. We currently have, the hole is still open underneath the play structure. There's a pedestal, which is one of the supporting structures for the play structure, is on order. And we're looking at additional cost, next spring to complete the repairs. It obviously got more extensive than what they anticipated originally. Opened up a lot more pool deck. We did abandon one of the features just due to the possibility of them trying to find the leak was cutting open the pool.
Yeah.
Another 20 feet long, 3 foot wide, 4 feet deep. And it was for 4 floor fault. So right now it's the 3 lines to the plate structure and then the repairs to the pedestals. So
it's with the additional 40,000.
up to additional 40,000 to
Repair the leaks and
complete the repairs, yeah.
and restore the.
Put it all back
Yeah,
together.
put it all back together. Everything should be done.
Well, originally when we talked about using ARPA funds, I think we figured it'd be somewhere around 100,000 to fix the pool.
Yeah, and we had kind of been, holding off on another project at the pool just because we didn't know what was going to happen there because, obviously the spring was hectic for us trying to figure out what was going on. We're at least able to limit what we were doing as far as water loss. So, making the repairs, obviously we need to repair the pool floor at this point.
Yeah, well, I think, and the ARPA fund is a good fund to pull to use that. We've got 3 options to recommend. I know the board, and we all looked at this before, is, using ARPA funds for the pool rather than pulling it out of a capital improvement or anywhere else. I'd be in favor of voting to use the ARPA funds.
Yeah, I would too.
I can support that.
Okay. So just need a motion then?
Well, just a second.
Sorry.
What's the motion?
Motion to recommend utilizing additional 40,000 in ARPA funds for the aquatic center leak repairs.
And to get it back to a usable state.
So, yeah, that actually probably should say, I understand it's in the notice here, but it probably should say that move to recommend utilizing an additional 40,000, up to an additional 40,000 in ARPA funds for the aquatic center leak repairs and restoration. Is probably what it should say. So that would be the motion.
I can support that. I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll say.
we have a motion and a second. Anything else in discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I think that's the end of that. Let's see here.
Hey, Keith, how you doing? Good.
Yeah, that's it. No resolution ordinances on the agenda. The next meeting is set for Monday, January 16th at 4:30 PM. Any remarks? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I should be here, but I might not be here. I'll be coming back from Minnesota ice fishing trip.
We'll have to see if we have a meeting. We don't always have January meetings. I know Tourism Commission is gonna be having theirs. So it would be a really quick meeting.
Yeah,
So we'll see. We'll send out a notice. It might be canceled.
well, I'll look through it. Song's real good about sending me stuff, emails and stuff, so just, keep me duly noted, but I will be coming back from
Wasn't that the same night as the tourism meeting too, the 16th? So they would still be the same night?
Yeah, we're planning on having this.
They meet earlier than.
Yeah, just before the
Four,
Finance Committee.
4:30, right? They,
Yeah.
what, like 4 o'clock or
Well,
something?
depends on what we have for that. I mean, we haven't set that
We-
yet. For tourism, have we?
Yes, the quarterly would end up in January.
So I guess Martin Luther King Jr., that's, the 16th is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So isn't that federal holiday
It's
or?
not a holiday, we don't observe that as a holiday here.
I don't know, I'm just asking. I
It
don't.
is a federal holiday.
We do or we don't?
We don't, it's not a.
So the staff is gonna be working.
Yeah,
Okay.
the office is open that
That's,
day.
I guess that's more my
Yeah.
question. I'm sorry. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't set on a holiday that, okay. Any other remarks, staff, or?
I
Okay,
was gonna let you know that we had a league call, so League of Municipalities, just last week or 2 weeks ago. And they've had really great success talking with their legislators about changing the shared revenue formula.
great.
So right now, what they're looking at doing is doubling the pot of money that is available for shared revenue. And they're doing that by replacing their current source of funds that they use for state aids with 1% of sales tax. So with that, our fingers are crossed that they can get a deal done, and with the adoption of the state budget coming in 2023, that Weston would see some relief with their revenue crunch. That's our hope. The league was super positive, which was really good to hear. They've been working with Speaker Voss. I don't know if she's House or Senate Speaker Voss. So obviously they're talking to the right guy. Hopefully we'll have some successful in 2023.
What municipality is that?
The League of Wisconsin Municipalities is a political group that we belong to that represents municipalities, cities and villages in the state of Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, what?
They lobby the state for
Oh, okay.
municipalities.
So it's, yeah, okay.
Well, they put out that municipality magazine that we get every.
Yeah, they do educational stuff as well, but they're lobbyists.
Okay,
But they typically lobby on behalf of municipalities. We're part of that organization.
okay.
So,
Well, I hope that works out for us.
Yeah, they would redo the formula for the new funds. So the funds we receive now wouldn't change, but the new funds going forward, they're looking at almost doubling the pot. So hopefully we would see more than double our share of funds since we are getting gypped right now. So that's it, good news. Well, keep you updated.
thank you for the reports.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else from the staff? Need a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks, guys.
So when would it be possible to get